Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with the Houston Texans. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
On first down, Wentz. And incomplete to open things up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Watson off play action. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Sproles. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. CD, before this next drive gets going, the Pro Bowl took place January 27th in Orlando. 3rd year in a row that the AFC has won, and really the 3rd year in a row where the weather in Orlando has not been too kind. It was ice cold 2017, and then downpours the last couple of years.
Yeah, in addition to it being cool as well again this year, so rain and cold, that hurts the crowd a little bit, but still, this game has evolved into what I would call a crazier type NFL game. Quick whistles to make sure guys don't get hurt when there's tackling going on. How about receivers playing defensive back? Defensive backs like Jalen Ramsey catching touchdown passes. And to cap it all off, when they awarded the MVP trophy to, I believe, Patrick Mahomes, it broke.
Yeah, indeed, it was Mahomes, the MVP of the offense. Jamal Adams, MVP of the defense in the 26-7 AFC victory. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Shut down. All right, Lion. 82.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Wentz now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
After the interception, here's Watson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Michael Bannon in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Here's Watson. And he's going to go down again. Mike Bennett in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. It's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. Hopkins this year, over 1,000 yards again. 4th time that he's done that in 6 NFL seasons. He had 1,572 to be exact.
And that was second only to Atlanta's Julio Jones.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Setting up the screen for Miller. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Watson looks to throw again. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Flushed out right. Oh, able to avoid him. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. 2nd and goal from the 1. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. In for the score. And the Texans are in for 6. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Well, as they get ready for this next drive, we shift our attention to a little Super Bowl conversation. The 3rd time that the Super Bowl, Charles, is going to be played in Atlanta, and the Patriots had 35,000 folks come out in Foxborough before departing for a little rally.
How about that? You would think that would be a fan base where it might be a little bit blasé about the whole thing because they seem to go just about every year. But they continued.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Come back, come back.
Here's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Richmond, Richmond.
Back to throw, Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wentz going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 54 yards.
Get done. One fight. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
On second and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield.
Here we go. Lady.
They get it to him running left. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Well, the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. It was the first time that two AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the two of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning on the other team's home field. The Colts did it twice. Houston did it once.
As you said several times, hard for Houston to be completely disappointed with the ending. They have a lot to build on for next year. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Haloti Ngata with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Watson now, throwing on third and long. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on fourth down. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Off of play action, it's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80. Come back. Come back. Tiger. Tiger. Tiger.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Run. 82.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Grade 15.
Now Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
On the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. This is a giant. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Here we go. 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now a toss play. It's a giant. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. J.J. Watt in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8. Watson will bring up the Texans here. 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Come back.
Now Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. To throw is Watson, eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Come back.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll give him 8 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Richmond. Target.
Again, it's Watson. Flush to his right. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And that one results in 35 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Watson. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Texans are in for 6.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 45 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Great 15, great 15.
He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Two jet.
Back to throw.
Oh.
It's caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd, carry it into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Lion.
They'll look to throw. And it is caught. They got the 2 points, and with it, they've taken the lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And here comes the Texans now. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Thinking back to 2015.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. A costly sack. They'll have to use a timeout here. And barring a defensive penalty, they'll be looking at one final play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. One last throw here for Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. Well, going into the final game, they knew that they needed some type of